Good evening, friends, and welcome to tonight's edition of Insight. I'm your host, Pat Gagliardo, and as always, I'll be taking your calls a little later on in the program, and I will answer your questions on the pressing issues in your life. But first, astrology, what it is, how it works, and how it can possibly be very instrumental in your life. My guest this evening is an astrologer and comes to us from Boston, Mass., and it is my pleasure to welcome her to the show. Good evening, Karen Thorne. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Good evening, Pat.
It's so nice to have you here. It's, I've been looking forward to our program together because the last time I met and spoke with you, I was just so enthralled by all the wonderful things that astrology has to offer. And I know that for my own clientele, they will always ask me, can you tell me about a good astrologer? Can you tell me about an astrologer? And of course, I always give your name. Even though you're out in the Boston, Mass. Area, it's worth the trip to go out and see Karen. Karen, most people know that astrology is, of course, a study of the stars, but can you tell us how and by whom it was introduced and when?
It's really very ancient, and it's an ancient system of mathematics. So it's not that new age. You don't ask a yes or no question and swing a pendulum. It's very extensively studied. I was reading just recently about 900 BC when the ancient Assyrians began using it seriously for campaigns. And of course, they were the first nation on the planet to have amassed an empire. And that was all done through astrology. But their premise was that time was sacred. And I think that you can't separate astrology from a spiritual foundation. That time is sacred, and it's a sacred measurement of our cycles. And so everything comes from that, a sacred measurement of the cycles of agriculture, of movement, and planetary cycles. Cycles for the whole planet, not just for our own.
Can we really put any stock into the astrological forecasts that are predicted like in newspapers and other periodicals, or what is the...
Everybody asks me that, and the question is, everybody wants to look for something. And it would be a wonderful thing to start every day being able to look at a message from God. And that's why people do that. But it's almost cocktail astrology to just think of your sun sign. The chart is so extensive that you need to look at every single planet and where it was the moment you were born at that longitude and latitude. And that's when it really works. I have favorites. I mean, there are favorites. Everyone likes Patrick Walker. Everyone likes Michael Luton in Vanity Fair. And they seem to have a way. But generally, no, you really can't.
Well, I've looked at the ones in the papers and thought, no, that's totally off base for me today. And I know, of course, there's the cusps and there's the rising signs. And I'm not a student in the field, so you're going to have to talk to me just like you're going to talk to the viewers and educate us about it.
Your personal life is, I'm being very basic now, but your personal life is ruled by your moon sign. And your business life is the sun sign. So if you were born a Gemini, the end of May and through June, you are a Gemini, and that is what you will want to do overtly in this earth. Your personal life is your moon sign, and in that month period, it changes every 2.5 days. So when you're looking at your horoscope to answer questions about how am I ever going to be emotionally happy, it's not going to have to do with Gemini. And once you get a chart, it really is a picture, as I see it, it's a picture of your truth. And if we all were in tune with ourselves, we would know that. But we don't have time. But it's just a little gift that God gives us to look at it, and there it is on paper.
What about reincarnation in astrology?
I do my field, what people generally call me for is reincarnation and predictions. The past and the future, and I seem to get, go back and forth from that. But Gemini is the sign that goes between the worlds. Goes 1 foot here and 1 foot there, so I do that easily. It's shown in the chart. Everything is shown in the chart. The only limit is the ability of the astrologer to read it. Just like with medicine, with math, with anything. It's limitless in its truth. it's a very, when you look at a chart and you see, I use color lines to show the aspects. I don't know if there's a chart. Those color lines are really the picture of how you ended the last life. What were the circumstances? You see the lines. They indicate where the worst things were that were happening and where your areas of expertise and mastery
creativity,
were, creativity. And then you die. It's like that's the hand of cards you were holding. You die, you put it down, you go to heaven, you regroup, you see some masters, you have a counselor, you have a long lunch, and you learn a lot of things, and you get stronger. When you come back, we think of heaven and our eternal life as outside of linear time. So that can go on for a limitless amount of time. When you come back into the physical, you pick up that same hand, same hand of cards, but now you are different, and you have new resources to play that. And that's what the chart shows. It shows a lot. It does.
Well, let's get it first here right on Insight now, and
okay.
I want to ask you about some predictions. Now, the predictions that you most commonly talk about, Karen, I mean, can we look into some worldly events? Can we look into, I don't like to look into doom and gloom, but of course that is part of life too. But can you share some of those with us?
Well, there's always, people talk about the prophecy of doom at the end of the millennium, within the next 50 years. And it can be very disturbing and very shocking and very unnerving, and it can lead people to think, well, why should I do anything? Why should I save money but what I have seen is that we're already in it, and this started around the 30s. If someone came here from another planet and asked someone what's going on Earth and heard in a half hour what was happening here, I mean, you just wouldn't believe it. This is the apocalypse. This is it. And there is a polarization of light forces and dark forces that is happening. I really believe that's true. And it comes just through intent. Everyone has made a decision on their inner planes. The intent, one doesn't need to be perfect and good to go through this. It's just simply the intent to do good or the intent to do evil. And what the apocalypse means is that there's a separate polarization of the forces of light and evil. But this is it. It's not going to get any worse than this. And all it is a turning point. And that turning point is just around the corner. And that turning point is one of evolution. And each person has a way to get there. And that's how I see the chart.
Through the astrological signs and through your working with the mathematics, what can you tell us about predictions of like Earth changes? I mean, every time I'm turning on the television lately to any of the shows that, discuss certain aspects of the paranormal, it's like a lot is going to be happening over the next 5 years within a lot of Earth changes.
Yes.
Can you just expound just a little bit on what you feel about that?
The way I see that is, again, from the foundation, from an acceptance that we are divine and eternal and that there is reincarnation. So from that point of view, when we were younger souls, there were a fewer amount of planets that were known to us. And so when you had a transit, which is a planet in the sky making a math angle to a planet in your birth chart, events happened. But there were only a few planets. And so in your life, you'd have a few little events. And now that we're approaching the end of the millennium, on the brink of a new age, we have a lot of accelerating to do. It's almost as if you're going to have a party, and a half hour before you've got a million things to do, and you run around the house
trying to get
cleaning up. Now we have more planets, and we're getting more transits, and everyone is really dealing with what they historically would have taken 4 or 5 lives to deal with. And they're dealing with all of this in 1 decade, and people are having a hard time. But it's nothing that we can't do. We can do it, and we'll do it.
Well, okay, let me take it down to our president, Bill Clinton. What can you tell us about him?
Well,
any predictions about Bill Clinton?
I have said before that I didn't vote for Bill Clinton. But after he became president and I really studied his chart, I like him more and more. He is a Leo, but when you do what is called the astrological signature, which is simply compiling the weights of the modalities and elementals, he comes out to be an Aquarius. So an Aquarius is someone who is very tuned to the needs of mankind and who has a vision to bring us into a new age. I think he does have that. If I think of predictions, there is a time, I have a prediction, there's a time that will begin for him in December, the end of November and December of '93. I will say by December 2nd. I do see that someone is going to try to bring him down. It will either be by covert manipulation or by overt confrontation. It goes through 2 more times in early '93. It's a very dangerous time. If I were of the likes to call him and give him a warning, that's the date I would give. And then I wonder, can he come through it? Well, he's come through a lot. He's come through a lot of transits that have buckled the knees of other people. And he's made it. And I think he'll make it through this.
Perhaps this could be an assassination attempt then, or something that he might just get through.
This traditionally would be called a violent attack on his life. But now, you know, in this age near the millennium, an attack on his integrity is as devastating. And it could just be that, but it is a time of violence.
Well, I think that Bill Clinton is going to do some good things, and that's my prediction.
You have a good feeling about him also.
I felt very good about him. From 2 years ago, I felt very good about him. Viewers, when I spoke with Karen about appearing on Insight, I had given her my date and my exact time of my birth, and she is now going to tell us all about me through her astrological findings.
Okay, there's your chart. You see all the, now those color lines represent the math angles that the planets, the way they angle each other in the chart, and that really is the story of your life, not so much the sign. It's not so much that you're a Sagittarius, but as you see that, that double blue triangle. This is the sign or the signature of the gift of vision. That's right there. I remember reading a biography of Dixon, and she said when she was a child, a clairvoyant foresaw, she has a star on the palm of her hand, and that was the gift of prophecy. This is the gift of vision, and you have that there.
Well, you heard it first. You heard it right here. And when we come back, you will be able to phone in and speak with Karen. You'll be able to ask her questions about your own life, maybe about a mate. Remember, when calling in Connecticut, you must dial all the digits, 1-800-443-TV26. You must dial 1-800 to get through. Out of state, the number to dial, 1-203-444-2626. Stay with us. We'll be right back. 203-444-2626. And let's go right to the lines. Go ahead, Barbara from Old Saybrook.
Hi. I would like to know, I'm an Aquarius, and the fellow that I'm going with is a Pisces.
Okay, can you give us his birth date?
March 1st, 1937.
March 1st, 1937. And where is he from?
1936.
1936. And where?
You mean in the...
Just the name of the town is fine.
Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
That's his birth.
All right.
And mine is February 1st, 1937.
February 1st, 1937.
Meriden.
Meriden. Okay. You want to find out then about your compatibility, do you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Karen then.
Okay, now, when I talk about compatibility, if we want to know what a man is looking for, we look at his moon sign. So if we look at this is March 1st, 1936?
Yes.
Now, he's a Pisces, but more importantly than that, his moon is in Gemini. This is more important for your relationship with him. So I'm going to tell you what he's looking for. And you can tell me if you think that's happening in the relationship. But he is happiest with someone who is open to spontaneous little adventures. He would like a woman who talks a lot, even if he can't. He likes to listen. He likes to listen to a lot of women, actually. He would be very happy having a lot of women friends. I don't see him carrying this further than friendship, but the companionship of women in social settings makes him happy. And if I were you, I wouldn't be that worried about it, because this person has a tremendous amount of commitment and devotion.
Thank you very much, Barbara.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening. Thank you very much. Go ahead, John from Coventry.
Hi, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, John. We need your birth date.
Okay, it was April 21st, 1950. And, yeah, my question is, since tomorrow's my birthday, what's in store for me?
That's right. Happy birthday tomorrow already. Now, John, is that local? I mean, like, is that Norwich, New London? Where's the town?
Where I was born?
Yes.
Chicago.
Oh, okay. April 21st, 1950. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Karen now, John.
Okay, the first thing I want to say is that 93 is going to be so much better than 91 and 92.
That's right.
And you can count on that. I would say, especially through 1992, there were some very serious times of, I'm going back to October, November 91, and then some spots in 92 where you were really up against the wall. And I feel since then there has been a real change in you for the better. And you're going to find that my prediction for you is that by September, you will have a chance. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter, but you will have the opportunity to make a whole new life that will be so successful for you, mentally, physically, and spiritually. But it will just be an offer, and you're going to have to take it. You're going to have the courage to take a leap of faith, and it's going to work.
Well, happy birthday to you, John.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good night. Go ahead, Debbie from Basra.
Hi. I have a question. My birth date is June 26, 1955.
June 26, 1955.
26.
Okay, June 26, 1955.
I was born in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, Jacksonville. Mm-hmm.
And I have a question about how are things going to get better for me? I've been kind of rough lately, and financial-wise.
Okay, Debbie.
I have a real good relationship with my husband. I have no questions about my relationship.
That's good. Okay, do you have it? Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Well, I want to talk about December for you, December 92, because I think when you say things haven't been going well, what you think of when you say that, the seed for this somehow began the end of 92. And although you really are in a new direction now, it hasn't been completely solved. And I want to move on with you and move on, but it's going to come back again. You're going to have to deal with it and resolve it. The good thing about this is if something happened at the end of 92 that you're not happy with, and I know it did, you're going to have another chance to do it. And you're going to do it in a way that you'll be much happier with about yourself and the way it turns out. So don't let this intimidate you. Let this information strengthen you and let it be your ally. What you wish you had done in the past, God will give you another chance to redo, and you'll do it beautifully. The only other thing I feel is I feel you're going to open up psychically this year if you want to. And if you do, be sure you keep your spiritual discipline strong, be sure you stay tuned to what you feel is the universal truth, and you will open up and you will have your own resources.
Thank you very much, Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Go ahead, Josephine from Old Lyme.
Hi, Karen. I'm a Leo. Do you have any insight?
You have to tell me your birthday and year.
We need your birthday and your year.
Oh, July 27, 1924.
Did you say July 27?
Yes.
Okay, 1924. And the name of the town?
Old Lyme.
Okay.
Now, wait a minute. I wasn't born in Old Lyme.
That's all right.
That's...
You want my birth?
No,
this will be
July
fine.
27,
1924.
1924.
Yes.
And did you have a specific question?
Do you have any insight on my future?
Yes, I do. I have to check this. This is why this is different than just looking it up in the newspaper, because you're going to get the real truth now.
Uh-huh.
You need to be more ambitious than you have ever been in your entire life this year. Something came up in, we're going to go back to January, February, and March. And you're going to have a little time to think about things. But I want you to get ready to make a campaign forward. Anything you've ever wanted, you must be ready to be ambitious about. Remember, there's ambition that is negative and ambition that is positive. Negative ambition is at the expense of someone else. You want to stay away from that because it won't work. Sometimes it works, but this year it won't. If you have ambition that is based on your strength and what you feel is your truth and that you're going to go after and get no matter what, do it. Do it with courage and integrity, and you're going to get everything you want.
So that's it for you now, Josephine. Take that to heart, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Bye-bye.
To call Karen for a private appointment, the number to call is 1-617-259-8381. Karen, I want to thank you so much for coming, even with your laryngitis.
It's
and you're
a pleasure.
You're going to have to come back, especially when your book is out. Karen, we'll be releasing a book soon. Thank you, Karen.
You're most welcome.
We'll have now to take a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back, so stay with us. And then I'll take your calls. Hi, and welcome back, and we're going to go right to the lines. Go ahead, caller from Wyndham.
Yes, hi. This is Cindy from Wyndham.
Okay, I don't need your names. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm calling about a past relationship that has been coming back into my life lately. I was wondering if it will work out.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm going to tell you, the same problems still exist. I'm very concerned about, there's a lot of resistance from you. There's a lot of reservation, and you have reason to be. You have reason to be reserved because I feel as though trust is a big factor here. And you need to be real open with your communication, caller.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to talk about the things that you expect and need. All right?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. You're not. You're dancing. You're on eggshells. You have to be yourself. You have to be able to speak, to be free. Please consider what I'm telling you, so you're not back and forth like this.
Okay. Would my children go along with the relationship?
One, no. One, I feel a lot of anxiety from. I think I'm getting female energy there, so I don't know if I'm picking up on a daughter. And the other is kind of staying neutral. But they have to hear from you your certainty and your confidence, you know?
Okay.
That's where it's at right now.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Go ahead, caller from Willimantic.
Good evening, Pat. Thank you for helping us. My first question is, the job I interviewed in Portland, Oregon, do you see me moving there, getting the job? And the other quick question is, IRS is wrongfully hounding me for many years. Do you see that problem ending positively?
Well, the answer to your second question, I think, relates to the first question. I do feel a move for you. I can't honestly say that it's Oregon, but I did feel the move, and I do feel very comfortable with you making the move, and I am going west, so I think one hand will wash the other. And you know what? I think I've talked with you before,
yes,
and I honestly feel that a move or a complete location change is the best thing that could happen for you.
Is it coming through? Is the job?
It is coming through for you, probably before the end of the year.
Thank you. And then
Thank you.
Maybe will the IRS problem solve itself when I get through this one?
I didn't quite catch what you said, caller.
IRS is hounding me for a long time on a wrongful
As I said, I believe that coincides with the first. And I think with the move, everything will work in your favor.
Thank you for
Thank
helping
you.
me.
Thank you very much. Good night and God bless. Go ahead, caller from Colchester.
Hi, Pat.
Hi.
There's something going on in my life for a couple of years now, and it affects me or has control of my life physically and spiritually, and I was wondering if you could see any resolve or any...
Well, it's not real good what's got a hold of you. I'm getting going forward 4 or 5 steps, going back 15, going forward and being pulled back. And I'm not comfortable with this. Your life for 7 to 10 years, my mind says, has been a lot of a little bit forward, more back, a little bit forward and more back. What I'd like to see you do is get in control of yourself, what you're all about. Make some positive goals for yourself and depend on you and stop waiting to make decisions on everything that's going on around you. You have to take charge. You're trying, but you haven't really accomplished it yet. Make this year a year for change for you, especially in your career.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye.
Go ahead, caller from Pomfret.
Yes, Pat. My parents have been going through a 4-year accident settlement case. I was wondering if you see any end to this soon.
Yes. As a matter of fact, they should have just recently gotten word, maybe in the past 2 weeks, or it's coming. And I'm feeling as though things are just about, they were waiting for some more paperwork, paper shuffling, something to do with information, I felt, but that is now almost in hand. So I will say that probably before the end of the winter time again, that the case will either be in resolve or working its way to. The end is nearing, yes.
And do you see any windfall in my near future?
I'm sure of it. Probably due to the love of your parents, I might say.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you, Pat.
Thank you. Go ahead, caller from Wethersfield.
Hi, Pat. I called before because I was getting an off-campus apartment or room for rent for next semester. And I was wondering if you saw, like, a date for me, like a move-in date.
I can't give you a date per se. I can give you a time frame should it come to me. And matter of fact, as you speak, I feel like things are in the works, meaning maybe you've already been looking and that you're waiting for something to come through. So I will tell you that probably within the next 2 to 3 months, within that time, you should be established and be all right.
And I've been, like, saving money because I wanted to get stuff for my room, but yet I'm
Good.
still scared to spend it.
I don't know if I told you this before, but I get something side by side.
Yeah,
I don't know why that is.
side, like a little house or a complex, you said.
Good.
And it's like I'm scared to spend the money, even though that's what I've been saving it for.
Yeah. Well, when the time comes, you won't be. And you need it. So it'll be all right for you.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. And when we come back, I'll be answering your mail. And those of you who are on the lines, please be patient. I won't forget you. Remember, when writing to me at Insight, Post Office Box 425, Jewett City, Connecticut 06351, you must include a photograph, preferably a single picture, a self-addressed stamped envelope, and up to 2 questions. If you are writing to request any materials, brochures, phone numbers, cards from our guests, please mark the outside of your envelope with the date and topic of the show. All other mail is answered on Insight every Tuesday at 6 p.m. I will respect any instructions that are outlined to me, such as if you want me to use just your initials, the city, etc. Stay with us, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Hi, and we're back. And the first letter that comes to me from Lorraine M. from Westerly, Rhode Island. She asked me about her career and education in English and theater. In looking at your photo, Lorraine, your creativity and your compassion were very strong. There is a real inner passion, a strength that can be overwhelming. People who know you would consider you to be very honest, sensitive, and trustworthy. You need to work with people as well as use your creative talents. I feel as though that you need to write, your need to express is so very strong. You must convey this desire to all your family members and stop feeling guilty about it. Your children will be supportive of your decisions, and your writing talents will definitely take you places. The second letter comes to me from Joanne B. from Jewett City. She asked me about business and relationship. Joanne, in looking at your photo, I see a face that is filled with love for people, a need to communicate, a willingness and a want to help people, and then some confusion and mixed emotions. I'm feeling as though your ideas in the business ventures are good, but location, management, and lack of a good relationship with your husband, with your partner, is probably the main reason that you're in the present situation that you are. Unfortunately, I did not feel very optimistic about the business venture that you asked me about. You need to work with an intermediary with your partner, with your husband. You will then experience many changes within the next 2.5 to 3 years. A move will definitely be one of those changes, I felt. The next letter comes to me from Marie L. from Willimantic. She asked me about employment and then lawyers and probate. Unfortunately, the employment will remain the same, I felt, Marie. Probate will probably come to a close by the end of the year. The results will be in your favor. They may not be as great as you expect them to be, but nonetheless in your favor. And as I looked at your photo, I am delighted to see how well you take care of yourself physically. You possess a lot of stamina, I felt. And yes, I did feel that you are very close to your daughter. Oh, and then there was something that came to me, although you didn't ask me about your health. Something about eyesight came to me. I didn't know why I was feeling like a blurry vision or something to do with either a covering, perhaps cataracts. I don't want to alarm you. I just want to prepare you that, in fact, it is coming, if it isn't going on already. The next letter that comes to me from Deborah R. from South Windsor. You asked me about your health, Deborah, and in looking at your photo, I felt as though your health has been a concern for probably the past 2 or 3 years. You only asked me about a test since this past March, but my impressions took me in this past 2 to 3 years, and I felt a debilitating disease that's been going on with you for some time. I also feel, though, that you have battled a life-threatening illness on probably you're still presently battling this disease, but you are a fighter, and you need to keep fighting, and you need to keep your strength and your faith up in the God consciousness. You are a very giving individual, I felt, and your life has had many, many struggles. Family is very important to you, and I kept getting that you were worried about a male. Now, I didn't know if it was a husband or son, but I did keep getting it, and perhaps you just need to let him know about your fears and let him put your mind at ease. I think you underestimate him sometimes. God bless you, and continue to trust in that God consciousness. The final letter comes to me from J.S. in Waterford. You asked me about a daughter. Dear J.S., I say, your daughter has not been happy with her husband for a long time. I feel there is someone else in her life, and that she feels a need to make some new changes. I also feel that you're not happy with these changes she's deciding to make. Please be careful of the role you play in her life, because I don't want to see her alienate you. It is her life, and she needs you to be supportive of her decisions, not to add to her present problems. I'll be back with more of your calls after this. Please stay with me. We'll be right back. Thank you. Hi, and we're going to go right to the lines. Go ahead, Stonington.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
I have a question. Would you happen to see in my future if I'm moving from my home right now to another home, another house?
Energy comes to me back and forth. Have you thought about doing this before and changed your mind? In the last, couple of months?
No.
Well, can I ask you then why I would feel you wanted to do it before and you didn't? Or is it between 2 different homes, perhaps?
Yes.
Okay, that answers it for me. Because my impression said yes, and then no, and then something else. So I will say yes. I will answer your question affirmatively. You will be making the move, but you have to decide where.
I have to decide where?
Yeah, because I get the feeling that you're kind of caught between two different areas or two different places. But you will make the move, and you'll probably do it before the end of the summer months. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Go ahead, caller from Plainfield.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
Good evening. I was wondering, do you see a wedding in my future?
Well, future is very broad. I mean, we could be looking
the near
into...
future.
Okay. Well, I want to answer that honestly. I do feel that there is a mate. My mind is telling me that there is the prospects probably of committing, but I'm not comfortable with the undercurrent that's coming to me. So I hope you'll really, really examine this relationship, or I should say re-examine. Really, really re-examine and make certain you want this to happen for all the right reasons, and that you're not doing it out of either being insecure or desperate, because for some reason I'm getting some undercurrent here. Please consider what I'm telling you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead, caller from Griswold.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
Good evening.
My question is, when and if do you see me and my husband conceiving for a child?
Ooh. Oh, I'm back and forth with this. I will tell you this. Something coming to me very strong within the next 17 months to 22 months. Now, why I get it exactly like that, you'll have to let me know. But 17 to 22. 17 to 22 are the numbers that come to me. That's what I'm going to relate to you. Okay. So, yes, to answer your question. And you'll get back to me and let me know why those dates were so prominent, okay?
I'll have to figure that out.
Okay, then you let me know.
Okay, and one more question.
Go ahead.
How many children do you see us having?
Well, the only impression that comes to me is two. Now, I don't want you to think twins, but I got the distinct impression if maybe you had one of each gender, you would stop. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Go ahead, caller from Norwich.
Hi, how are you doing, Pat?
I'm well, thank you, and you?
Okay, I'm good. I'm calling to find out, I'm going to make a move in Connecticut, and I'm trying to find out if my career and my husband's career are going to benefit from this move.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Okay. This is exactly how I heard that impression. Yes, and then space of time, and then yes, meaning one probably right away,
okay,
and the other one needing time to get to it.
Okay.
So I can't say yes for the two of you right away, but yes, and then a span of time, and then yes. So overall, yes, just be patient in as much as the length of time goes. Don't expect to move in 3 months. Being wonderful.
Right.
Okay. One of you, yes, and then the other one a little bit longer.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.
Go ahead. Caller from West Haven, go ahead.
Hello, Pat. I'm a little miserable myself right now. My husband and I just can't seem to get along too well, and I've gained a lot of weight. And I was wondering if the weight gain's going to stop, if I'm going to lose weight. And
only if you get your life. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have to speak frankly, caller. Your relationship with your husband hasn't been good for a long time. Communication has been broken down for a long time because the two of you are very different entities. Please don't blame him for this excessive weight gain. You are not happy with you. There is a lot of, I feel such binds around you, such straps, such confinement. You feel smothered and suffocated. Please don't blame your situation. Get going and work on making yourself happy. Work on doing some things that are thought-provoking and goal-oriented and have a driving motivation behind it, because you're drowning. You are drowning. And it's not your husband or people or situations. You have got to take charge of your life. If you don't, within the next several years, you're going to have a lot more emotional and mental battles than you do physical with your weight. Please listen to me, caller.
Well, I was really wondering if you see any happiness for us.
You have to help it happen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Please. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Good luck. Go ahead, caller from Hartford.
Hi, Pat.
Good evening.
Hi. I talked to you before, and you said you've seen a lot of confusion right now going on. Do you see, is it trying to calm down now?
You are doing something to change it.
Am I?
I feel as though all of a sudden there's an awareness. Something maybe I might have said or something someone else said has sparked something in you to say, I'm tired of this. And I do sense something coming for you for change. Why is the month of September prominent in your life?
My birthday.
Then between now and that month, get going.
Okay.
Make this September magnificent and spectacular for yourself. You have the awareness now, so don't lose sight of it.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good luck. God bless. Go ahead, caller from Willington.
Hi, Pat. First, I want to say that I really enjoy your program, and
Thank you.
I hope that you be on the air for a long time.
Thank you. God willing.
My question is regarding my employment. I have been in an employment search for a while, and I'd like to know, do you see anything for me soon?
Now, this may sound silly to you, but you have to understand, I deal with energy, and sometimes it comes in the way of just impression. Gives me, of course, to be able to articulate and verbalize, but I also get vision. Is there any reason, now this may sound silly as I said, but try to put yourself in my shoes and understand where I'm coming from, okay? I'm going down a flight of stairs, and there's a lot of cement around me, like cement blocks, or cement, what do they call those, cinder blocks kind of stuff. And there's a very long, like a catwalk, or something that goes across, and I sense sidewalks. Does this relate to the present job? If it doesn't, it's going to.
Yeah, I'm unemployed right now.
Okay, well, remember what I'm telling you, and you should write it down, because that won't be for long. And there's security with this place, so I don't know where or what kind. It could even be with some sort of facility that people are confined. I don't know. Hospital, jail, I'm not certain, but you remember what I'm describing to you.
But you do see something
Absolutely, and it's not far away because I still felt being able to wear spring, summer-type clothing.
Oh, great, because I'm really starting to lose confidence.
I know you are. Hang in there.
Okay, thanks a lot, Pat.
Thank you, and let me know. Go ahead, caller from Ledyard.
Hi, Pat. My wife and I have recently started a lawsuit, and I wanted to know if you would see the outcome on that, if it's coming out favorable for us.
Well, not around the corner. This is going to take time. I'm feeling several people involved with this, like a lot of information.
Right.
So, oh boy, it's going to be time-consuming, and a lot of weights, a lot of anxieties, a lot of mental stresses back and forth. But for some reason, I felt you were coaxed into taking on this suit, either by a lawyer or someone thinking that it will definitely be in your benefit. All I can tell you is exercise patience. It will be in your favor, but down the road.
Okay, and also we're planning on moving to the Carolinas. Do you see that in our future?
Have you recently gone to investigate?
No, not yet.
Okay, then you're going. Somebody's going. If not the two of you, one is going. I'm near water, and I'm like the border of two towns or the boroughs or something in close proximity of. If you don't know that, you'll know when you're there, and then you have to let me know. Give me back the feedback. But yes, to answer your question, you just may have to put it off.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Go ahead, caller from Bristol.
Hi, Pat. I'd like to know how things are going to turn out in my relationship with my boyfriend.
Ooh, things are not too good these days. I'm feeling a lot of break in communication. Somebody's anxious, and I think you're uptight and a little angry, like you can't really get him to understand what you want in the way of commitment, in the way of wanting more of a committed relationship from him. It's like there's like a surface appeasement, I feel. Like he tells you some things, and then you calm down, and then it comes up again. There really is love between the two of you. You just got to get your priorities back. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, God, do I ever, Pat. You are so on with that. But
well,
what do I do?
Listen to what I'm saying. Take him out to dinner. Don't be so anxious, and communicate rather than making it sound like demands, because he gets mad at you.
Yeah,
I don't know quite how to say it. And then he shuts you off.
But
he does care.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not here, and he's
But he will be.
But he's not now. He says he's with somebody else.
No, but he will be then. Because I'm feeling you together, and I'm feeling you need to let him know what you're all about.
But is he lying to me about being with somebody else?
Well, it's still not too late, I don't feel. But he's angry. That's why.
Yes, he is angry, and he feels as though I did him wrong, and I don't know what to do.
Only because of your actions and attitude. Don't give up the ship just yet.
Oh, God.
Okay?
Okay, thanks so much.
Okay. Good night, and God bless.